Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and today is going to be a bit more of a downer video, a bit more, I'm going to hopefully make it a constructive video over a Hearthstone mode that I can just no longer get myself to play, and it literally tears me apart because it's probably my favorite mode of all time in Hearthstone, and right now I just can't even think about playing it. And if any dev does happen to see this on the Hearthstone team, I do hope you listen to what I have to say. I know it's shared by a lot of people. You probably heard most of it already, but I do want to put my thoughts out there. And before I get into that, of course, again, I want to thank you guys all for your insane support. We continue to grow. And if you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you would ever know. What mode of Hearthstone am I talking about? Well, it's the mode that got me into the game to begin with. It's the arena format where you get to draft 30 cards. You get 3 cards to pick from every single time, 3 random classes to pick from, and it's what got me into the game. I've been on the arena leaderboard like at least over half a dozen times, so I have some credentials. I have like just under 12,000 wins, I believe, but it's what got me into Hearthstone. I discovered Hearthstone actually just as a game on Twitch because I discovered what Twitch was, and I'm like, what's Hearthstone? And I saw Kripp. I saw Kripp streaming this mode called Arena, and I got really into it, and I followed people like Kripp, Rotsma, Amaz, Hafu, none of which stream Arena. Most of them don't even stream Hearthstone anymore. Well, times change, but it was the mode that taught me how to play Hearthstone. It taught me the fundamentals. I learned how to fight for tempo, how to extract like every ounce of value out of my cards, gain board control, and even know when to play around certain cards. You kind of had an idea of what cards to play around. And I mean, Kripp literally had a video series of 1 HP matters because 1 health point mattered so much in Arena. The games often came down to that. However, Arena has changed drastically over the years. The biggest change, in my opinion, being Discover being added to the game. All of a sudden, a legendary being an Arena, which was typically rare, you were lucky to draft one, you'd likely see one appear in a game through a Discover effect, whether it be a minion or a spell. That didn't break the Arena. It took the skill cap a little bit lower. It made things a little bit crazier, but good players could manage it, and the Discover cards, at least very early on, weren't that insane. That you would lose stats for them, they were usually clunky. However, things have gotten a lot crazier over the past few years. Discover cards, Discover is just given for free on most cards. They're also offered at a like candy in Arena. You can get a Spell Coiler, a Ruined Orb, a Venomous Scorpid, tons of different Discover cards at any point, which again makes the games way more unpredictable. The variance increase, and it can be a bit more frustrating if you're trying to play for a consistent experience. And what the result of this has led to is you've gone from scratching, clawing, from like value and tempo, trying to gain board control, into just kind of going into how much random crap can I generate? What's the most broken thing I can get? Whether it's a Raid Boss Onyxia as a random dragon or a Rune of the Archmage as a random spell. And the more baffling part about this is cards like Colossal Minions. You take a look at Neptulon here, a Colossal Minion that's more broken than any Arena card you could possibly imagine other than maybe a Raid Boss Onyxia, are offered at a higher rate. They're actually offered at a higher rate than before. And this completely goes against the balance philosophy we've seen in Arena. Traditionally, cards like hero cards or Death Knights, like Frostlich Jaina, she was originally draftable in Arena, but the play experience was that you played Frostlich Jaina, you kind of won the game. That was a really bad feeling and just made the format way more high variance. So going forward, all hero cards were banned from Arena with the exception of Lord Jaraxxus, because he's never really had that impact. But now when we're seeing like crazy minions like a Colossal Legendary, a Raid Boss Onyxia, a Ysera being offered at really high rates. You take a look at HS Replay, they're in a large percent of decks, and you look at their played win rate, they basically win the game right away. It just takes the control away from the player, and also these are cards that can be easily discovered, which also creates just incredible high variance. And Ixar even made a comment. He's not working on Arena, but he did make a comment regarding Arena that it's fun for players to draft powerful cards. That's possibly why they're in there. But if you take a look at a card like Vicious Fledgling, which was eventually banned from the format, it was removed because that card's not necessarily fun just to coin it on 2 and automatically win the game. However, the problem I have here is that just goes against the hero card problem we saw. They are very comparable in the damage they can do, and one player feels absolutely terrible when they face one because they basically just lose the game, and one player kind of just feels like they cheated their opponent. I feel like both players should be held in equal regard when deciding what cards go to the arena. And well, I feel like one player is feeling that bad, it's not a good experience, as the answers for Colossals just aren't there in arena. They come down, you're pretty much going to lose on the spot. And what's resulted is just extreme variance in win percentage depending on whether you drafted one of these cards or if you discovered one. So what's the result of all this? What's the result of all this kind of change over time? Well, for the first time ever that I can recall, you look at the numbers, Arena is now a gold sink. Going infinite, going 7 wins and getting at least 150 gold on average is basically impossible. The variance of these decks is so extreme now that if you take a look at the latest leaderboards, the latest arena leaderboards, the very best players in the entire world, or at least on the America server, is this example, 26 of them over a span of their 30 best games were able to muster a 7-win average, which means they're likely not going 7 wins total over the entire period. This is only over 30 runs. That means you cannot get your gold back on average. And if you take a look at the leaderboard just a few years ago, I remember Team America with like a 9+ win average over 30 games. Myself, I was over 7-win average, and we were lucky to make the leaderboards without a 7-win average. And that's the problem I have with the mode, is that Arena has changed from a format that, in my opinion, was one of the best places, period, to reward pure Hearthstone skill. And the mode has devolved in some kind of slot machine. Honestly, it's like gambling, where you're just trying to land the jackpot on your deck or the discoveries you have of that run, and you're just kind of seeing what happens. Like, to me, the strategy and the gameplay of the mode is just a complete pale comparison of where it was just a few years ago. And from my personal experience, it just leads to way too much frustration, because on average, my slots aren't lining up, and I'm really sick of rolling the dice, and it sucks. It really sucks for me, at least me. I don't know if that's the way you guys feel if you played Arena, but for me, it's the worst feeling, because I love Arena. It's the mode I've loved the most in Hearthstone, and I can't even get myself to play it anymore because of all this. But to me, there is hope in this. Matt London, he's like the mode's lead now, and he has been keeping an eye on Arena. They've been doing adjustments. The mode was basically abandoned. Like, nobody was even looking over it for like a good chunk of this year, and he's been working on it. So this is kind of my message to Matt London and whoever else on the team, that I really hope they could consider a significant overhaul to the drafting process, eliminating the draftability, or at least the likelihood of drafting high impact cards like a Raid Boss Onyxia, like a Ysera, like a Colossal Minion in the future, or whatever powerful cards they make in the future, because until changes occur in the format, I just can't see myself playing it in the foreseeable future. And that really sucks, because I love playing Arena, and I want to hit 12,000 wins. I want to keep going. I would like to try and get 12-0 in every class still, but I just cannot see that as any close of a reality the way the mode works right now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.